Hello tech fans, welcome to another video with Daddy Geek. Now, Pokemon Go. It is sweeping the world and parents are worried. This newfangled game sees both children and adults, but mainly adults, roaming around looking for virtual Pokemon to add to their collection. Horror stories have already surfaced about people walking off things, and even into petty crime. Whilst you can choose to disallow access to the game for your children, this may only serve to alienate your child and cause unnecessary arguments. However, there may be a way to use this new must-have app to your advantage. Here is my parents' guide to Pokemon Go. The basics. Pokemon Go is a location-based collection game in which a player creates a character and walks around a stylized Google map looking for pocket monsters or Pokemon. The launch version has over 142 creatures to collect, and they are collected by flicking virtual balls at them. Pokemon can appear anywhere, but the algorithm favours built-up urban areas over rural spaces. Certain types of Pokemon, such as water Pokemon, appear near bodies of water, such as rivers and lakes, and different Pokemon may even appear at night. It's essentially a mix between Google Maps and a paper toss game. Pokemon Go favours explorers, and parents can suggest dog walks or shopping trips or even family outings under the guise of a Pokemon hunt. Social media is awash with people who have been tricked into exercise thanks to the game. POKEBALLS and throwing. When your phone vibrates, it means that a Pokemon is nearby. If you tap the offending creature, the game uses augmented reality using the phone's camera to layer a Pokemon in the real world. Players start with 100 Pokeballs, and these are flicked at the creature to capture them. As the game progresses, the creatures are able to dodge them and even escape from them, forcing you to use up more Pokeballs. Once collected, they can be found in your Pokedex. POKESTOPS. A Pokestop is a map location where players can stock up on items such as Pokeballs and incense and eggs. Pokestops tend to be landmarks and places of interest such as nature reserves or historical signs. When you're close enough, players can tap on the location and spin the image to receive a selection of different items. Pokestops can be good motivators for children, as you can walk from stop to stop, or you might even find one in a place that you visit often. In many towns, a local church is a Pokestop, so if you're having trouble motivating the kids on a Sunday morning, having a Pokestop at church could help pique their interest. Items. There are various different items available for budding young trainers that include items that produce, that lure, and that heal Pokemon. Balls. There are 3 types of balls. There's the standard, the great, and the ultra ball. Each type has a higher chance of capturing and securing different Pokemon, and you need the better ones for the more advanced and elite Pokemon. Eggs. There are 2 types of eggs. There's the standard egg that can be found at Pokestops and require you to put them in an incubator and walk for about 2k, 5k or 10k in order to hatch them. The longer the walk, the rarer the Pokemon. Lucky eggs, on the other hand, double your experience points for about half an hour, so these are best saved when you are in Pokemon heavy areas or gyms, which we'll talk about later on. Potions. The 4 types of potions include Standard, Super, Ultra and Max, each of which replenish the health of a battle-worn Pokemon. There is also a selection of Revive potions, which awaken fainted Pokemon if they lose a battle in a gym. Lures. If you don't fancy trekking to a built-up area, there are 2 ways in which you can get Pokemon to come to you. Firstly, you can use incense to attract Pokemon to your current location for 30 minutes. And secondly, you can attach a lure to a Pokestop, and so that you and anyone nearby can enjoy these attracted creatures. I should point out though that incense means that the attracted Pokemon only come to you, whereas if you have a lure, then it means that it attracts it to the whole area. So that means other Pokemon trainers will appear in that area as well. Outside of these items, there are raspberries that help you catch difficult Pokemon, and different types of incubators, meaning you can hatch more than one Pokemon at a time. Gyms. Gyms are essentially battlegrounds and can contain around 10 trainers. Basically, you need to defeat around 3 of them to enter the gym. There is a prestige wheel that reduces after each battle, but I want to keep this simple. By being one of those trainers, you get 2 of the most precious commodities in the game, Pokemon Gold and Stardust, which acts as the in-game currency and power-up material. Gyms are usually held by elites with powerful Pokemon, but you can leave at any time if you're losing to gain the valuable experience points, which will help you build up your character for later on. Players can take 6 Pokemon into a gym, and once in, you leave your most powerful to guard that position. Battles can be done with friends, and 3 people can take a gym at the same time. The PERILS. You may have already heard in the news that people have walked off cliffs, walked into mugging traps, and generally endangered themselves as a result of playing Pokemon Go. The 3 main issues are addiction, negligence, and endangerment. It's easy to get addicted, so ensure that your children take regular breaks. Having your head in a phone can result in you walking into roads or even stopping in roads to catch Pokemon, and a slew of other problems. Teach your children to look up and use the vibration setting to feel for Pokemon over staring aimlessly at your phone. Finally, players need to be careful that they do not go anywhere dangerous, such as dark alleys, building sites, or even bodies of open water to catch Pokemon. It sounds crazy, but it happens. Okay, so here's some quick tips for the budding Pokemon trainer. First off, don't get attached to your early Pokemon. They are very weak and you'll end up transferring them to power up later Pokemon. If you have multiple Pokemon of the same type, then use the transfer button at the bottom of their Pokemon window. This effectively transfers their candy to the strongest version of that Pokemon. Don't power up early on, as Stardust is precious. Save your power up button for when you have much more powerful Pokemon around level 8. In the settings menu, you can switch it to battery saver mode to conserve that all important battery power. You'll find that an hour or 2's walk will reduce your battery greatly because it is a battery killer. Turn off the sound effects and music if you're jogging, so you can listen to your own music instead of the beeps and whistles of Pokemon Go. If you are heading out, turn off the Wi-Fi and sometimes even turn off your 4G on the phone in order to stay logged in. When the game needs to jump from 3G to 4G or to Wi-Fi, it can lose connection. It's very annoying. Some more parenting tricks for Pokemon parents? Why not use the Pokemon Go app to encourage more dog walking? Why not check to see if your local church or supermarket is a POKESTOP and get them out of the house faster? Use incense as a bargaining tool, as it's only about 50p or 75 cents per use, and it keeps the children busy for about half an hour. If they're going to tidy their room, you can either pay them 50p or use the incense to get them more Pokemon. All of these are great hints and tips for parents looking to take advantage of Pokemon Go. If this video has been useful, then please like, subscribe, comment, and all that jazz, and I'll be back with another video very soon. Hello tech fans, welcome to another review from Daddy Geek. Now this week I am looking at the visor